What's up, guys? Stephen Bogren here from Pro Physique. Today what I wanted to talk about is how to objectively set goals. Alright guys, so what's up? Again, we're back on that New Year kick. What is it, the 5th? It's January 5th. It's the 5th! Kudos if you get that reference, by the way. So, New Year, it is starting off. I don't know about you guys, it's kind of chilly down here in Florida. We've been hitting in the 30s, which is a little bit brisk. I remember I was walking around the other night in shorts and a t-shirt. Somebody looked at me, they're like, "You ain't from here, are you?" I was like, "Yeah, I grew up here." But it's just an interesting change of feel. The air is crisper. So just overall, things are changing, right? And so I think one of the big things that we're always looking at during this time of year is changing, right? What's changing in my life? What's changing in myself? What do I want to change for this next year? What do I want to accomplish? And those are all really great thoughts to be having. So it's important that we pay attention to those thoughts. We give them their due, and we make sure that we're doing what we need to do to make things happen, right? Because we don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want to stay in the same place in life. And then whether that's with work or fitness or relationships or anything, whether you want more dogs, right? We don't want to only have one forever, So, and that's a stupid example, but you get my point. Like, if you're somewhere you don't want to be in any facet of life, it's important that we work on changing it, that we do the right things to make change happen and to make positive change happen. And so I think that first and foremost, when we're looking at goals, right, we have to be able to objectively look at that goal and understand what it's going to take to make positive change, good change happen. If I'm looking at trying to get a promotion and I've been slacking off and dicking around at work, well then it's pretty easy to know what I need to do to make that positive change of a promotion or of a raise happen. I need to get my ass in gear, right? So that means, but how do I do that? And this is where I think a lot of people mess up, right? As they just look at this big goal, I need to get my ass in gear, right? Well, I don't need to just get my ass in gear. I need to, maybe I'm late a lot or semi-often. So maybe it's just, a simple thing is, I just need to set my alarm clock 10 minutes earlier so I'm not late. That way I'm on time. Okay, well that's an easy place to start, right? Maybe I haven't been paying attention to the details on something. So it's not that I need to get my ass in gear, this whole umbrella thing, but I'm going to set that very specific goal, boop, that I need to pay attention to the details on that one thing I've been messing up, right? So I need to pay attention to the details on remembering my cover sheet or remembering my client outreach. So, very small things, right? And that's what we want to pay attention to at first. When we're talking about objective goal setting, creating change that's going to last, that's going to be maintainable, and creating positive change that's going to do that, it's all about setting small, maintainable goals, right? Say you want to quit smoking this year. Well, maybe you smoke a pack a day, right? So maybe a small maintainable goal is to cut 5 cigarettes off that a day, We're not quitting, we're not killing the game by any means, but we're making progress, right? Maybe your goal is to get back to where you were with your weight in high school. Okay, so maybe a simple goal is just to start tracking your food, right? Like maybe start paying attention to even just your calories to begin with. And so it's something that you're going to be able to achieve, to successfully do. And you're going to be able to successfully do it for a long time. What I see day in and day out is people make these really lofty goals, right? So they make these huge goals, and there's nothing wrong with having that, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to go big and the ideas of grandeur. The problem with that can be, is it realistic to achieve all at once? I think that it's very, very common for us to look at somebody who's in a place we want to be and to just see that they're at that place that they want to be in, right? What we don't tend to look at is the massive amount of work that has gone into getting them there. The hours upon hours, days upon days, weeks and years upon years of hard work and dedication. Small changes, things that have built up to getting them to that place in their life. And so if we want to get there, we have to start doing those same small things, those same small steps, those daily things, right? And so it's easy to see big picture and to say, this is what I want. It's much more difficult to say, this is how I'm going to get there. So that's going to be my number one, my first and foremost, guys. The second one I want to leave you with is the objectivity, right? So this one is a little bit more difficult. It's one of those things that's easier said than done. How the friggin' frig am I supposed to be objective with myself, right? Here is a great way. Start with hard numbers that are easy to record and that are easy to look at for like whether or not you've made progress. So let's use a gym reference, right? I want to bench press 400 pounds. I do want to bench press 400 pounds. But here's the real question. Am I making progress towards doing that? So if I benched 260 at my first meet and I benched 280 at my second meet, I've made progress. Now, is it necessarily as much progress as I would like? Maybe, maybe not. But I've made progress, right? My bench has gone up. I have an objective measure of whether or not I can lift that weight, because I either can or I can't, and how much it is, right? And so I know that I have progress. Nobody can take that away from me. This is why the scale is good in some ways, because the scale is a hard number. It's objective. It doesn't give a fuck if you ran 12 miles yesterday. You either are 172 and a half or you're not 172 and a half, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't care. Body fat testing has some variability in it, so I'm a little bit less in love with that as a measure of progress, but it can be a good measure of progress, right? You get a number that said you were at 32, now you get a number that says you're at 26, you've made progress. And at that point, you know you've made progress. So we want to have objective measures for our goals so that we can't psych ourselves out of recognizing when we're making progress. And so that when we're not making progress, we can't psych ourselves into thinking that we are, right? Because that's just as dangerous, thinking we're making progress but being stuck in the same place. So we want to be able to determine with validity that we're making progress or we're not making progress. And if we're not, that's simple, guys. All we have to do is change it. We just change our approach to what we're doing, right? Start making small changes to the way that you're going about trying to get to whatever it is you want. So that's it, guys. A little bit short today, I know, but I think it's a good topic for the new year, and hopefully it changes your outlook on how to get what it is that you're going after and how to get what it is that you want. So I will talk to you guys again soon. I hope you have a great weekend.